Hello. Hi everyone. So this is my third Power BI replication. So recently I just joined this group. It was Enterprise Power BI in LinkedIn. So I've joined it for I think last week. So I recently found out that they are offering some um, Power BI challenges every week. And I've checked their website and I've seen some Power BI challenges that they've had on this previous month. So what they have on their website was this kind of challenges. So they already have around 15 challenges. And as you know, we'll try to replicate one of it starting from the very first challenge. So let's see what's the number one challenge. So it was an executive sales report. So you are an analyst working in a major retailer. The sales director has approached you and asked for you to prepare a report that he can take to the executives regarding sales performance and to make sure it looks good. Unfortunately, he is unavailable for any further conversations about what he wants in the report. So basically, we will be the one to graphically design and analyze what was the available data from their dataset. So as you can see here, they have this download. So when you click this one, an Excel file will be downloaded. So when we click this one, it will download the Excel file here. And then what we can do is check who won the challenge. So when you click this one, let's try to see who won the challenge. So the first report that we saw was from Walter. So it was a dark blue background concept or palette that he used for the sales performance report. So as you know, what I always do was I grab a screenshot of it. Let's take a screenshot and let's paste it in PowerPoint. So now we have those screenshots in PowerPoint. Let's remove this. So you can use other editing tools like Photoshop for your design, but I do prefer using PowerPoint as an editing tool for my designs and templates. So let's see on how we can recreate this report with the help of PowerPoint. So at first, we need to create those background. So we'll insert some shape. Oops. We'll drag it. We'll just have it bring it to front. So, and did you know that the canvas of PowerPoint and Power BI are the same? So the size of this report and the size of Power BI workspace is also the same. So when you lay out anything here, it will have the same resolution when you imported it in Power BI. Then we'll try to get the background color from the eyedropper tool. And then what we can do now is to recreate this one, this icon. So we'll try to do that by using, so first let's insert a new blank slide and copy this one. And let's not do that. Let's insert some shape and we'll use this donut chart. Okay, then we'll remove the outline. So we don't need the outline for that one. Then we'll align it at the center and in the middle. Then the next one will insert some rectangles. We'll change the color of it so that we can see the difference. We'll have it a little longer. Now we'll align it at the center. Then duplicate it. Okay. Align it. Forget. Let's have it a little longer. Then align it in the middle. Now we have the shapes. Then we'll use the merge shape feature for separating each element. So we'll use the fragment. After that, we'll delete all the unnecessary details. Now we have a separated shapes from the donut chart that we created. So the reason for that is that for us to have a different fill colors from each segment. So we can use the eyedropper tool again. So after that, we need to group it again as a single element. Then we'll cut it and paste it on our canvas background. So resize it so that if we resize it, all will be proportion. And then we'll add some text. So just a tip, if the font styles or the branding font that your company or the one that you prefer is not available in Power BI, as you know, Power BI has limited font styles. You can use the available fonts also in PowerPoint. Then you'll just need to save it as a PNG or JPEG format. Then you can drag it or import it into the Power BI because it has a lot of font style to choose from. So that's one tip that you can do. So sales performance. Then we'll have it in bold and this white. We'll make it a little larger. That one. Then we'll try to add the other text. Edna Mart. How has we'll just make it a little smaller. One more. Then we'll insert some icons. So let's start with a star. Let's check this one. And we'll use the same graphic fill color. Then we'll make it, yeah, that one. Realign it. Now we can group those elements again. And place it here. Now we have our background. So the next thing we can do is to get those elements. The other elements are available here. So we need to have this one, the graph, the combo chart, the bar, the column, the line, world icon, shopping cart, store, target, pin, people, and another shopping cart. So it's the same. So we'll get those elements in the icons. So we'll use the free icons from PowerPoint also. So let's start with the graphs. So we have this one, column, line, and pie. So already have this one, line. What else? Shopping cart. Can use this one and this one. So already have that. Then pin. This one. People. Then world. So already have the pin, people. Now we need the world and target. World, target, short, and filter. So we have 11 elements. And we'll use the same graphic fill. Now for this two, as you can see, they don't have the axis. So what we can do is for this two, we can convert it into shape so that each element will be separated. So for this one, we can delete the axis. Same for this one. Then we can regroup it again so that it will be considered as one element only. Now we have all the icons here. Then what we can do now is for this portion, the background for the graphs is not available in Power BI. So we don't have this feeling of the title bars. In Power BI, only a portion of it will be filled if we use the background color and not the full upper half of the graph. And we also don't have this shadow pattern format. So I think he used the same trick, which is using PowerPoint as the base of it. So we can use this one, the rectangle with a round shape. Then we'll use some gradient. This one, we'll use this one, the center, from center. And we'll remove the outline and make it a little rounder. So just to adjust the element, we need to add the color, we need to format the shape. So let's see. On the formatting pane, we can see the fill portion. If I can click it. Then on this one, we have this gradient steps color. So this is from the center all the way on the outside. So we'll use also the eyedropper tool that we have so that we can get almost the same color from the report. Now we have around the same color from this one. Then we'll duplicate it and we'll flip it vertically. Then make it a little larger and adjust the roundness at the bottom. I think that's good. Then we'll have it a solid fill using this color. Now we have the background, and then we'll duplicate again this one. This is for the shadow with the pattern style. So on the format shape, we have this pattern fill, and the closest pattern that I can see that is available in PowerPoint is this one, the large checkerboard. And then we'll use the foreground eyedropper. It's the same color from our background, so it's easier to get the color. And the background was the lighter blue, which we can use this. Yes, I think it's almost the same from it, but on the lighter side. But anyway, I think it's quite the same. We'll send it at the back and we'll just adjust it somehow. I think, but that's good. And now what we can do now is to save each element as a PNG tool, PNG format, I mean, in our folder. So I've already saved it, this new elements. So we'll use the PNG format so that it will be transparent. The background is transparent when we import it in Power BI. So right now, we can go now to the Power BI desktop so that we can start analyzing the data that is for our sales performance report. So, and before that, I forgot to show you the dataset. So the downloaded data that we had a while ago is this one. So we have here 5 tables. So we have the sales region, sales team, products, and store locations. So on the sales table, this is the raw data or the sales daily sales performance output, daily sales output. So we have here some information: orders, date, the channel, currency, and these are the foreign keys. The sales team for this one, store index for the store locations, the product index for our products, the quantity, price, the sales, and the cost. So for regions, so we have here the state code, state, and the region. So just some hierarchy of the states and regions. The sales team, we have here the salesperson, the index, and the region. So let's see if we have the sales team index. Okay. Then on the products, we have around how many products? 47 products. So the index will be linked to this product index later. Then the store location. So we have here the code. Let's see. The ID, which will be linked on the sales table. The name, county, state code, state, what type of state or town, city or town. The latitude and longitude is what we will use for the maps, and some basic information on that state or county. The population, household, income, land area, and others. So we have here around 367 store locations. So once we've saved it, we need to import it in Power BI. So we can use this one to get the Excel workbook as our data source. We can also use this one to get the data from our data source, or we can use this one as a shortcut key. This is the data set. So we'll just load it in here. So once loaded, we can see around 10 tables here. So the difference between this one with the blue icon table above is it was the table, uh, the table view of the data, and this is the sheet. So let's take a screenshot so that I can show you the difference between those tables. So let's go back to the data source. So this is the sheet names. And those sheet names are these tables with no blue on top. So you can see here, sales table, regions, sales team, the same as this one, products, and store locations. And this icons with blue on top are the table names. So when we click this table, on the table design, we can see the table name. Where is it? The sheet name is sales team. My bad. It's the sales table. Wherein on the table name, it was only sales. So the advantage of having it in a table format is that it will only capture what was within the table element. But if you use sheet name, if we have other information here, for example, it will also get this information until from column A to column M, which is not useful. So we'll need to delete those elements which are not included on the original dataset if there are available elements at the right, or if we hide some data in it. Unlike for this table source, we will only get what was within the table row source. So that's the difference. So we'll load those who have blue in it, so the table sources, and we'll check the data before we load it. So once loaded, we'll just quite double check the type of columns or field types, the data type for each field that we can use later. So the important data point here was this latitude, so it should be decimal. It's good. Then the regions, nothing much. Sales team, so the index is a whole number. Order number, sales, it should be date format. It's good. And the products. So another um important to note here is if the foreign key, the primary key in here is data type is a whole number, the foreign key from your source table should also have the same data type, which is a whole number. So if the other one is at a data type text, and your product index as a foreign key here on the sales table is data type whole number, when you try to connect it in the data model, it won't uh, get the right connection in it. So to troubleshoot it, if it won't summarize your data based on the connection, on the data model connection, you'll just need to check the data type of the foreign key and the primary key of each table. So I think we're good here. It should be decimal. Now, then we can close and apply it. Okay. Okay. So we have already loaded all the data in Power BI. Now we'll check the data model. As you can see here, Power BI automatically detects some relationship that they think was interrelated with each other. So let's check if they've had the correct one. So for this one, the connection was the state code. I think it's good. But for this one, as we can see, it's connecting the index of both, which does not make sense. So we'll delete this one. If you're familiar with your data and you know the connections and the data model that you will be creating, you can turn off the auto detect relationship in here. So you can do is in files, options and settings, then options. Let's wait for it. Have I clicked it? Let's see. Okay. So in here, we have the data load option. And here we have the auto detect new relationship after data is loaded. You can just uncheck this one so that it won't detect any relationship. The default was it will detect those field names with the same naming convention. So it's index and this one also has index. It will try to make it as a connection, but it's not supposed to be. So we have the product index here. So the product index should be related on this one. Then the sales team index should be this one. Then the store location is the ID for this one. So now we have the data model. Now we can start with our analysis. Replication. So what we can do is check again the dashboard that we will be replicating. So let's copy the address, then we'll insert the screenshot of the dashboard, or you can just paste the location here. So we'll have a mini version of it in here. So the first one that we will be doing will be this card visuals, because it's easy. We can do some card. Then we'll insert the total sales. So the total sales will be the unit price. So it's the sum of all the data sales for the global and without the channel filtering. So on this dashboard that we screenshot, it was filtered for distributor and West. So if we can get a slicer for the sales channel, and the region. So if we filtered out West, oh, it's not connected with West. So it might be on the distributor. Hmm. Or is it the global? I don't know, but I didn't see any filtering. It's a sales distributor. So it doesn't have, I don't know why it shows 3.9. We can check each element. No. So we don't have the actual dashboard so that we can check which filter was this comes from. So, but for now, we'll just have it laid out. So we can drag total sales in this one, or we can create a measure. So for us to have uh, organize the measures that we will be creating, we'll create a new table for our measures. So it will be, you can do anything here. Just put something as a title, field title, then this will be a measure table. So by creating this measure table, we will be having all those measures within that table. So it's a floating table. It doesn't need any connections with our original dataset. So we now have the measure table. Let's check if those have something to do with the month. January. It doesn't. No, it does not. No, we'll just ignore this one. So we can also check this if it's the actual sales. Total cost is, the sum is, I know the price, I mean, 8,037,000. So I think we're good. It's the total sales. We'll lay it out first. Then we'll just duplicate it. Can delete this slicers. For now. We'll remove the category, then add total sales. And remove the background. Let's enter this one up. maybe a little smaller. 25. 30. And the title will be around 12. Now we can just drag the field value for our sales, or we can create a measure. So the advantage of creating a measure is it will be easier for us to calculate. Use that measure as part of our other formulas later. So we can create a new measure. Let's name it total sales. So it's the sum of all the unit price. So it's basically the same. We're just dragging it, but we can see the importance of creating a measure rather than using the field as it is. So if we change it, it will still be the same number. Then we'll create the total cost. So we'll just duplicate this one and we'll create another measure for the total unit cost. Total cost. So it's equals sum of unit cost. Then we'll have it in here. So the next one will be the total profit. So what's the total profits? It's the difference between those two. Then we'll create another measure. So this will give us the advantage of creating a measure rather than using those fields. So this is total profit. So if we didn't create those measures for total sales and total cost, the way we need to calculate the total profit will be using uh, the same formula. So it's the sum of the unit price minus the sum of unit cost. So you will need to retype all the formula again. So we'll duplicate this one for the total profit. I think it was resized. It's 2.3, so it's a difference. But you can just call out the measures that you created. It's the total sales minus the total cost. So you won't need to retype all the formulas that you've created from the measures. It's definitely the same. Then the next one is the sales profit margin. So the profit margin will be dividing the profit from the cost. Is it? Can we check? So it's 1.1 divide 2.8. Oh no, 1.1 divide 3.9. Ah, I made it wrong. So it was supposed to be the total sales, not the total cost. Sales. We'll duplicate this one again. Copy, paste. So this will be the profit margin. So we can format it as a percentage. Then we'll rename. So as we can see, we have the same profit margin. We'll have the data profit margin, the title. This is a total profit, total cost. Then for us to be able to have those circle-like element, we'll need to insert a shape. So we can use this one, I think. Oh, yeah. For us to have or know what is the colors of this one, same with the logo, we'll go back to PowerPoint and check the colors of the elements that we created. So what's the first color? It was the dark blue. PowerPoint. So this is the first color. And we can check here the hex. Let's just copy it and paste it on this. Now we have the first. Then we'll put it all the way to the back. Send it to back. Okay. Then we'll change the font colors. If we can select. If those format send the way to the back doesn't work, you can go to view. Then on the selection pane, you can minimize this one. You can drag the shape all the way to the back. The bottom, I mean. Then we can select total sales. here, then change the color to white. Same with the title. Then if you can't select the shape, for example, it's already populated with other elements, you can do it here on the selection. So we can select the shape here, and we can duplicate it here, and we'll do 2 more. I think it's too big. It's okay anyway. And over here. Don't worry about the alignment first for the meantime. Ah, it's still too big. She'll need to resize all of it so that we can fit the month slicer. Data label should be around 25. No, it's too small. I think it's already okay. Then we'll have the width 145, 140. Still good. Okay. Then we'll also resize all the shapes. Around 148, 45, 40. Okay. I think it's good. Just drag it. Then we'll change all this tree to white. Oops. So first we'll need to select all the shapes, and we'll align it at the bottom, then distribute it horizontally. So once we've done that, you can drag these 3 shapes also all the way to the bottom. You can drag it as a group. So we'll drag it one by one. Then we'll do the same for this. Elements. Now we have those elements. We can change the color. So the next one was the pink one. Oops, cancel. So the color of this one was this hex. Oh, I forgot to remove the lines, the outlines. So we'll just turn it off. Next element will be the date, slicer date. So what we can do is drag the month in it. Then on the filter, so that we can remove the blank, we'll just filter out the blank. Then convert it into horizontal. Then we'll limit the number of months until May. Hmm. Can we check the picture? Let's check the picture. Select a time frame for analysis. The items, we'll try to minimize the text size so that we can have it a little more smaller. So this is the max. Remove the background. Hmm. Nope. So the font color will be the same as this violet one. We'll check again the hex. I forgot the hex. You can do the background here. This one. It's already preloaded. And the font will be white. Let's do the same for the title. We'll use a white font. So it's the smallest that I can do. So what we can do is, since we're too populated here, we still have the logo and headers. Either we adjust the page size so that we can fit all the elements. We can adjust the height, the width, custom. Can increase the width around 1.5, I think, maybe. But the resolution won't be the same. If it's shown, let's see. 1.4. So I think we have more rooms with this size. Now, we need those donut chart. So it's by okay, where's good top. Let's see if we have those elements. Category. Up the sales. It's not showing. Distributor currency. Hmm. What is the rating? I didn't see any rating for it to be classified. Not sure how he got this. Okay, good, top and worst categories. And also the stores. So how do you rate those elements without any ratings coming from the order or the customer? So since we don't know the on how he rate those certain elements, we can use other categories for the meantime. But if you have some suggestions, you can post a comment below on how do you think he scores it. What we can do for now is the distribution between sales region instead of these ratings, so that we can have some data on our donut chart. So we can use the regions as the legend and the total sales from our measures for the values. So now we have a donut chart. But he also used the same color scheme, I think. Hmm, what's the missing color? The deep blue. So we'll use the same color scheme. So we'll use, I think, as this one, this one. Uh, blue, pink, my violet. Then the blue one. Then remove the legends and add the category on that. So we have now the distribution per region. Then we'll duplicate it for the other category, which is uh, as as you know, we also don't have the scoring per store. We can use the sales channel instead. So this will be the sales distribution by sales channel. We'll try to use the same. Now we have the distribution by sales channel. Um, so now we can insert the background for our visuals. So the one that we created in PowerPoint, this one, we can use this as a placeholder or background for our visuals. We can do the fit scaling so that we don't have any excess. Um, space. Then we'll have it all the way to the back. Again, the selection. All the way to the back. Then we'll adjust this. Remove the background. We can do both. So we can select both so that we'll adjust it at the same time. Then the title will be same, font white. Labels white. Then we can add the a text for the title of the segment or the group that we've created segments. Right, no background. Bold, 14. Okay. Now, we'll get also the icon. Saving those icons in PNG will have the invisible effect in here. Okay. Oops. Next will be the month over month cumulative trend. Month over month. So the way I see it is it was a total year to date trend because it was an accumulated sales for the whole year. So what we can do is to create a measure. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can post your suggestions below if you think I'm wrong with that one. Because the way I understand month over month cumulative trend is, oh, I see. So it's a total month to date. And the one below here are the days of the month. So there should be a month selected here that has filtered out this data. That's why. So what we can do is to create a total. I can do MOM cumulative trend. So it will be total month to date. So what's the expression? It's the total sales. Can reuse, as I've said earlier, you can reuse the measure. The dates will be the date on our sales data. Then we can um, remove all the filters for our sales data. So to check that one, we need to create a line chart. Or at first, we'll need to create a table. So we'll double check the data first. And insert the month and the day. Then we'll have the total sales per day. So this is the daily sales. Then we'll insert the month over month cumulative. So what it will do is to add each day until the month ends. Then it will resume or restart the calculation at the first day of each month. So that's the total MTD calculation is. So I think it's good. We'll add the line chart. Then we'll insert the day as the axis. And this is the values. So for the meantime, we'll select May. And then we can adjust the axis. So we'll use categorical since we only have a certain number of days. For each month. Then we'll turn off the title for the y-axis. Then let's see. Let's also do that for the total. What's the next measure? Cumulative. What's LM? As I can see on this data is the sales versus the cost, I believe. LM. I think it's a cost. So we'll add another measure. So we already have the formula. We'll just replace the total sales to total cost instead. I forgot to rename the measure. Cost. Then we'll add it in here. So now we have those cumulative trend between the total sales and the total cost. So the color of the trend should be, see if how short we can. Okay. So the color of the cumulative trend should be the same as this one for the total sales. And the cost should be the same color as this one. Then what else? We can add the background first. Let's copy this one. And have it here. Then again, all the way down. All the way to the back. Again, remove the background. Um, Change all the colors, data labels to white. Okay. So either you retain the grid lines, or in this case, we'll remove the grid lines. The y-axis, so that we'll have a clean graph. So as you know, we're again short of space here, because I don't want this to be a lot smaller, because we'll have this drag icon, drag ruler below, which is not good for a dashboard. So let me just redo what I did and change the page size again. Hmm. So we'll add more space below later. MOM cumulative trend. Ah, so I forgot to rename the measures. Cumulative sales. Copy and paste. Then insert the icon for that portion of the graph. So it was the combo. We'll use the same size for this one. 66, 67. Ah, it's too big. So we remove the axis so in PowerPoint a while ago. Next one was the channel highlights. So this was, I think, some kind of effect to toggle in between the sales channel and the trend per month. And it has nothing to do with filtering out other elements here. So what we can do there is some simple bar chart and add the month, then the total sales. We'll remove the connection of this one too. So we'll reset this for the meantime. Then we'll have those slicer for the sales channel. Then we'll do horizontal. Okay, it doesn't matter since we will get some background here. See how far small. Okay. Okay. We can now remove this one. It's a little crowded now. So I think this slicer should only, so if it's a toggleable, if the purpose of this slicer something above is to toggle in depending on the channel, the sales per channel, then we can remove the interaction on the other parts of the visual. So what we can do is highlight this one first, then remove the interaction between this other visuals so that it won't affect anything. Even if we select this, only this will be updated. So it's moving somehow, but only a couple of movements. So what we can do also is for this one to match the color of, I don't think we can match that one, but for now we can use the default color that he uses, the blue. Oh, we can do that. So we can conditional format the color. Let's see. So for us to be able to do that, let's try one approach. So this is, I think, my first time of doing that also. So let's test out if it will work out. So first, we need to create a new table. So this will be the sales channel. Then we'll add the index. Index. We'll add distributor 0. Then once created, let's wait for it to load. Once created, we'll check the data model for the new table. Then we will link it on our sales table. Then we'll replace this as from the one that we created. Mm, Okay, so what's the other one? It's blank, I think. We'll just filter it out. Now we have a clean one. Now let's see if we can uh, have a dynamic color depending on what you will be selecting uh, on the sales channel. So let's try to add a measure. And we'll create a new one. Selected um, channel. So it will be based on the selected value, based on the index of the sales channel. So for us to be able to check if the selection of the index will be correctly selected by Power BI, let's add some card. Then we'll drag this one. So currently we don't have any selected value here. So let's see if it will return 0 if we select distributor. Hopefully it will. Yes, now we have those index based on the one that we are selecting. So we will use this one to conditionally formatting the color of this one based on what we have here. So for example, the distributor color should be this kind of violet. So what we can do is under the format data colors effects, we need to format it by rules, and we need to based on field, select the channel, which is the one that we created using the measure. So if the value is 0 number, the color should be this violet. Let's see if it's preloaded here. No. Let's check the hex again. Violet. Then we'll add 3 more. Is, is, is. Number. The next one is, oh, I forgot. What is the next one? In store. In store should be 1, 2, 3. In store should be this pink one. So the reason why we created the index is because it won't accept a text for conditional formatting. So we need to create a number value equivalent for those categories. Next one is online. Oops. The last one was wholesale, which is this light blue. Now let's see. So wholesale should be light blue. So it should be colored light blue. Now if we select online, it should go around this color. Now we have a dynamic color based on the selection or the category that we've selected. So this is one trick for this tutorial. So let's remove this one now. And add the background. So again, we'll adjust the colors again. Hmm. Power BI should have had this pre-loaded, like we can put it all the way to the bottom in an instant. pilot. Then what else? I should have separated these elements and these two elements, because once I resize it, it was not the same size as this one. It's not that good because it warps the image. So we'll maximize the space instead, so that we have an even layout for this one. Channel highlights, highlight. Then we'll insert the element, the icons, I mean. Remove the background again. Mhm. Then what else? Axis. Where's the title? That one. Mm, okay, we have the grid lines. The filter. It should be a little lighter. I can't see it. Should have been a little lighter. Now, what else? What else? So we've already finishes this one, this one, this one. What else? This one, and all of it. Now we'll do the same for for the remaining two blocks of visuals. Before that, we'll need to add the icons. So region should be world. Maybe something for the channel. Sales channel. What we can do there is maybe this one. So next,